You're probably here because you're finding it a little bit difficult and finding your way about leadership, finding your way on how to manage people well, and finding your way on how to grow your business as an entrepreneur. Any one of these things are the topics that we cover. I'm your host, Sean C., aka Mr. CEO at 22. I am so glad that you took the first step of being here to learn more about leadership, entrepreneurship, and management because the world needs more people like you. We will help you to invest in yourself because that's something that is worth doing. That is something that is worth learning. If you have questions about entrepreneurship, maybe you're having problems at work or you're having some leadership problems or managing other people, boy, I have news for you. We have what we call a masterclass. Most of the courses in the masterclass deal with how you can generate revenue online. It deals with leadership, how to lead in crisis, how to break through the crisis in business, in entrepreneurship, and how you can manage other people better. Now, I always say the best kind of investment is an investment in yourself. And how much money are we charging for this masterclass? Not a lot. And if you invest in one, it's yours to keep. And if it doesn't, I'll refund you, no questions asked, full refund. So why don't you try it out? Head on over to sean.c/masterclass and check out any one of the courses if it fits any one of the questions in your head. And if you have any questions, you can just put it on the comment section and we'll get in touch with you. We want to know who you are and we want to hear from you. Until then, keep leading.
All right. Hey guys, good evening. Welcome again to another episode of Leadership Stack Live. It is another Thursday, and this year just seems to keep floating by. I don't know about you guys. I hope you were spared with the COVID Omicron variant. And it's been a tough year for a lot of entrepreneurs out there. The year just went to a halt because teams were affected, families were affected, and I know a lot of companies who have suspended their operations because of the COVID virus. And what's happening is we are just about starting right now in business. So I feel like business is just starting to pick up this February and starting to get busier as well with in SEO Hacker. But January kind of just floated by and disappeared, and it was a very slow New Year for sure. Um, I just want you guys to know that we have published the rest of the episodes on Spotify with Craig Schultz. I don't know if you guys missed Craig Schultz, but that was a really good recording. Super good. We published in last week a couple more episodes, and this week we have published the last episode. So, how to grow and make yourself better, what podcasts can do for personal growth. We published that last week. These are short episodes, wala pang 15 minutes. Then we have what should you give up for growth as the last episode published this week. And then we do have the AMAs before competition or profit. Which should you prioritize, and is your business visible online? I am going to go on a shoot tomorrow with the Leadership Stack team in our studio, and we are going to be tackling more about this being digitally visible. And I hope that our effort in putting some recordings in the studio now that the virus is out there and we've pretty much gotten in, hopefully we got super immunity now and it's out. We are going to be trying to record on studio so that you don't see the same old background that I have here and me recording here in my camera, and that's it. So we'll try something different, something new this year. Hopefully you like it. Let us know if you do, or if that doesn't work so well, please do let us know as well. So I hope you guys have been able to tune in to our past episodes on Spotify. And if you are a visual learner, please also do follow us on YouTube. And if you want to ask questions to this AMA or Ask Me Anything live show, please do join our Facebook group or Discord channel. The URL is from.sean.c/discord, which is it's just scrolling down there right now. You could go there, sign up for Discord. It's free. Then you can ask your questions, and I will be tackling them tonight. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and load up the first question. What made you to decide? What made you decide to become a serial entrepreneur? Um, well, entrepreneurship came by. It was a blessing. I wouldn't say that I planned to be an entrepreneur. When I was younger, I didn't know what I wanted to be when I grew up. And then life happened and I was a wayward student. I failed a lot of units, almost got kicked out. And I knew that when I graduated, I wasn't gonna be a career guy because I failed 28 units. I mean, what good career would be waiting for me, right? After I graduated. So it's a series of divine interventions. How I stumbled upon SEO, turned it into a business, and had a small starting capital and grew it. And then I figured I had the knack, and I do have the desire to start more businesses. Even now, I do have that desire. So I could say that naturally I might be an entrepreneur. And if you're a real entrepreneur, the tendency is to become a serial entrepreneur. That's the tendency. If you're a real entrepreneur, what do I mean by real entrepreneur? There are business people and then there are entrepreneurs, right? For me, business people are the kind of people who will see a business and say, I want to also do that because it's making money. So they don't have a new idea or a novel idea. They don't have a new brilliant thing that they've discovered by themselves. They just saw a business, it's making money, and they want to do it too. For me, those are business people. Entrepreneurs, on the other hand, are people who are first in line. There's something new that they want to try. They think that it's going to click, and they go ahead and attack and do it. I'm an entrepreneur. So SEO during the time when I started it as a business was practically unknown here in the Philippines. And the businesses that I presented to, and I those were big businesses that I presented to before, they had no idea what SEO was. And they called me up to explain it and hopefully do business with me as young as I was. So the other businesses that I started, like Queries, was also something very new, which is a freemium model of the micro surveys. So I think that if you're an entrepreneur, you want to try something, you're a risk taker. The tendency is for you to be a serial entrepreneur, right? You're gonna go ahead and start a series of other businesses. That's the tendency. And what you need is to be able to find people, really good managers who are going to be able to run the business for you, think for you, and lead for you so that you can focus on growing the other businesses that you may have started. So in my case, I do have a couple more businesses and I have invested in a couple more businesses as well. And my focus is still in SEO Hacker because honestly, it is a very young company. It's just 11 years old. It's a super young company compared to all the other businesses out there, and it still does need my attention. But we are in the phase where I am learning so many things as well, and we're looking for the right people to hand the reins over to. And I am at that season in my life and in my career as a CEO where I'm realizing there are so many things that I could let go of now and delegate, and it's gonna be okay, right? Because the tendency is, if you're a founder like me, a CEO founder, you're clutching tightly on whatever it is that you can clutch tightly to. And right now, I'm just being able to let go of many things. And that's because we are also getting a lot more people. And the people we're getting now are better quality, more competent, and more trustworthy as well. So that has allowed me to let go of more stuffs on my plate. And also, the people who have been with me for quite some time, especially my family members who are in the business with me, they are growing as a professional. So that helps a lot as well. Okay, I hope that helps answer your question. Second question for tonight: what do you think are the main considerations people should have before becoming serial entrepreneurs? You should consider your time, right? Because, like, for me, the reason why became an entrepreneur, I wanted to be an entrepreneur, is I wanted more time freedom, and starting more businesses didn't help that. Didn't help that much. So with queries, when I started queries, it was also a lot of work, a lot more work actually, and then I had to let SEO Hacker float on its own, by itself for a while, because I focused on queries. And the sad thing was, there were so many people looking at doing what queries is doing also during that time. So a lot of competitors sprouted up from nowhere. But well, if that didn't happen, then queries would be in a much better place right now. Right now, it's still making money, but not as much as I'd hope. Right. So time is something that you should really look into, because if you're going to be a serial entrepreneur and start more businesses, that's definitely going to eat a lot of your time, and you are going to run out if you don't manage your time well, and if you don't hire people who can think for you and make decisions for you and lead for you in your other businesses. So that is definitely one. Another thing that you should consider is, do you have a really good team, or can you build really good teams around you? Because if you cannot build good teams for one, two, or three of your businesses, if you're a serial entrepreneur with many businesses, then they're going to crumble down when you are not able to focus on any one of them. And you can't focus on all of them if you're being a serial entrepreneur and starting more businesses, right? So you should consider these things. Do you have a good team, or can you build really good teams around you? And do you have time that you can invest in these businesses? That is, for me, super duper important. Assuming that you're starting new businesses, that means you do have an experience of building a good team, and you should have a good lawyer or good legal team and a good accounting team. And it also should mean that you have experience in starting all of the legal stuff, starting all of the processes, as at the very least, hiring process, firing process. You should be able to have good experience before you start another business. So these are very important things, but sometimes I feel that people who are entrepreneurs who start another business, another company, overlook these things, and suddenly their next company become failures just because they didn't pay attention to these things. So I hope that helps, and I hope you are able to keep that in mind. Okay, next question. Do you have businesses you focused on more than others? Yes. Right now, SEO Hacker, 100%. I'm focusing on SEO Hacker more than others because it's growing exponentially bigger, and that is really good, but it also brings a lot of good problems that needs to be solved, right? So when you're growing and you're scaling up and your business is becoming bigger, it demands attention, it demands capital, and it's going to give you more problems. That's really how it is. When you're growing bigger, suddenly you need more people. So, and if you're not able to hire as fast, then you got more work, you have more workload, you also have to work again, not just be CEO, but also be have your hands on ground and run with the rest of the team. And you also need to improve your third party suppliers. You need to improve your legal team, your accounting team. You need more people to back you up. All of these things plays into it, and you also need to reinvest capital, right? So you're growing bigger, you might need a bigger office, you need more equipment for your team, who are, you're hiring more people, they need more equipment, and you got to empower them as well. So definitely right now, because SEO Hacker is growing so fast, I am focusing on it again. And yeah, pretty much putting all my attention in SEO Hacker right now. Was that an inevitability or just your choice? I would say it's always a choice, right? I could choose not to focus on SEO Hacker, and that's not gonna help. Um, a company that's growing, when your company is in a period of good growth, really good growth, maybe critical mass growth, you just want to capitalize on that, right? You want to maximize that growth, and that's then you can only do that by focusing all of your attention and time on it. So this is why I'm an SEO hacker right now, and my focus is an SEO hacker, because we're just maximizing this growth that we're experiencing right now, and we're making sure that we just get the most out of it as a company and as a team. So yeah, I'd say you will definitely all the time focus on one business. If you're a serial entrepreneur, you got many businesses, you're always going to be focusing on one business at a time. You're not going to be focusing on two, three separate businesses simultaneously. It's just one at a time. That's it. Okay. Hey, Nino. There you go. Wi-Fi is back in Cebu. Hope you guys have recovered there and things are better. Feels good to attend the session again. Thanks for being here. Looks like I have some replays to binge watch. Yeah, you do, but it's not a lot. I mean, early January, I got COVID. In fact, there was one episode where I got COVID and I still did the live show for you guys, and I hope that added value to you guys. Um, and also, late December, we didn't do a couple of shows because I had to spend time with family and the holidays. And, yeah, so might not be too much replays that you gotta binge watch. Might just be some, but I'm glad you're back. And you got a question. If a situation arises where you are unable to entirely operate your business, what will you do? Pray. I mean, what else can you do? If you can't operate it, then you pray, right? So, and the keyword here is operate. So there's nothing happening in the business. One thing I would do aside from praying for the business to become operatable again is to sell the business. If you cannot sell the product or the service because you got no operations, then sell the idea, sell your brand, sell your concept, and tell them that we are reoperating at so and so day and time. Right now, it's just this happened and that happened, but this is what we do. This is who we are. This is why people choose us over the others, right? So that is something that I would definitely do. I'd pray and then I'd evangelize for my business and brand. But yeah, definitely that would suck if you can't operate your business. So I hope that helps, Nino, and I hope you are not in that boat right now. But if you are, I hope that advice helped you out. What are the three core values you believe a serial entrepreneur should have? Um, Three core values. I would say, and this is like, I don't know if you're tired of me saying this, but number one, you should have integrity for sure. You should be a one man person. Who you are at home is who you are at work, and it's who you are in the public. And you are who you are, whether you're in the light or in the dark, whether hidden or public, right? Integrity. And I would say you have to have humility. That is a core value, because if you lose your humility along the way, and a lot of people lose it along the way because they find success along the way. And success can sometimes dumb down humility and make you proud. So humility is important because learning from other people is super valuable, right? I've I've had a lot of different mentors over time, and I maintain a good relationship with them, and I make sure that I provide some kind of value back, and I thank them for their investment in my life. And for me to learn from other people, that takes humility, because I have to approach them and ask them, hey, I want to learn about this and that, and I see that you're an expert here and you have experience. Do you mind showing me the ropes for like 1 hour of your time? Right. So you got to have humility. And you also have to have humility when people tell you have a blind spot in this area. There's something wrong with you in this area, and you got to check that out. You got to make sure you improve there. If you're proud, you're egotistic, you're not humble, you're gonna be like, nah, I don't really need that advice, or I don't think that's right. I don't think that's true about me, right? You're gonna be defensive and you're not gonna listen to that, but that might be a blind spot, and you gotta improve that. Otherwise, you're not gonna be able to lift the leadership lid, or you're not gonna level up your organization, your company. Another core value that I think a serial entrepreneur should have is be willing to sacrifice things, right? So life is a trade. You trade something for something. What do I mean? I'm trading time with my family right now doing this live, right? And I'm trading uh walking outside or exercising. I'm trading doing whatever hobby I want to do right now to do this live with you. I'm sure you're trading something for those of you who are tuned in right now. There's a handful of you tuned in, right? So I'm sure you're trading something as well just to be here. Life is about a series of trades. When you buy something, you lose that money in order to gain whatever it is that you bought. When you buy a service, you put your laundry in the washers and you pay them. You lose something. You lose time. You lose money. Life is a series of trades. And when you're a serial entrepreneur, you got to be willing to sacrifice because the trades in the beginning sucks. The trades in the beginning when you're starting your business, it sucks because you're trading a lot of fun, you're trading a lot of time with family, you're trading money, effort, you're trading sleep. So at the beginning, the trades when you're a serial entrepreneur or when you're an entrepreneur, a startup entrepreneur, it sucks. But you got to be willing to trade that. You got to be willing to sacrifice. If you're not willing to sacrifice, then you're not really going to be able to make it. You might get by in life, but you're not going to be going to make it, right? So, especially in entrepreneurship, because it requires sacrifice. So, I think those are the three core values that you got to have. You have to be, you have to have integrity, who you are, in the dark is who you are, in the light who you are, in private is who you are in public. You got to be a one-man person because if you don't have that, people won't trust you. You're not going to have customers, you're not going to have a good team. Your employees will not trust you because they see you and who you are, and you're different in public and you're different in private and you're different with them. That's not going to help. You got to have humility as well, because if you don't have humility, you're egotistic, you're not going to learn from people that you need to learn from. Mentors, good people, people who love you and care for you and who are telling you, you got this blind side, you got to fix that. You're not going to listen to them. You're going to be defensive. Hence, you're not going to improve. You're always going to be who you are. And if you don't improve and you're the CEO and founder, then your entire organization is not going to improve. And lastly, be willing to sacrifice things. Life is a series of trades. If you don't make the right trades, and the right trades are usually the hard trades, then you're not going to be able to make it. Right? So, hope that helps. That's a very good and difficult question. But yeah, hope you got some value out of that. How would you know if if serial entrepreneurship is for you? What are the things that you should consider? I think you should consider if you really love the game, the entrepreneurship game. You like starting things, new things. You like the risk. You like the thrill of getting new people on board, um, and evangelizing them with the vision, telling them this is how I think it's gonna be. You're excited when you are able to sell your product or service. Electricity flows through your veins when you're able to sell something. It excites you. It makes you happy in a very imbalanced way, So I think if you really love the entrepreneurship game, then serial entrepreneurship is for you 100%. But if you're the kind of person who doesn't want to sacrifice, who wants their who wants their time off work, work life balance is a big deal for you, don't do it. Right? If work life balance is a big deal for you, then entrepreneurship is not for you. I'm sure of that 100%. There's no way you can make it. There's no way. Even if, let's say, in the first 5 years you survive and that's okay, I assure you in the 6th to the 10th year, your competition is going to eat you up. Sure ball, 100%. If work-life balance is a big deal for you. Okay. Hey, Bri. Welcome to the show tonight. Been trying to order the book through Lazada. Oh, really? That's strange. You can order the CEO 22 book straight na lang via PayPal. So that one, I'm sure that's going to be shipped to you. But that's strange. We've shipped through Shopee, no problems naman. I guess there might be something that I need to do with my Lazada account. So thanks for the heads up. If you want to get it ASAP, just buy it through the PayPal, the native PayPal button, and I'll have that sent to you, no problem, immediately. Okay. As a serial entrepreneur, how do you set your goals and priorities? Like any other human being, like any other person, right? I manage a task list. So I used to Doist. I'm not affiliated with them. I'm not really promoting them. You could use Trello, which is free, or Notion, which is free. Whatever task list you want to use a task list. I don't care what it is, but it's so important for you to use a task list because life is distracting. Your phone is distracting. Your family is distracting. Your dog is distracting. The gate, doorbell, the Lazada, the Grab guy is distracting. And whenever you're out of your work, that takes you out of the zone. You come back, you start to wonder, what was I doing again? The task list prevents you from doing that. Task list keeps you on track. It's your plumb line. It's how you measure your work. So one good example is I do have a task list, and today I finished 20 tasks already. 21 tasks already, right? So I've done 21 tasks today, major tasks, right? So these are like difficult tasks. And that's not normal for the normal human being, right? So I work really hard and I work fast and I focus. Um, I have I really make sure I finish stuff, right, as CEO, and I want to make sure that my team knows it. So all of my tasks are public in our Slack chat. People know if I finish stuff, and people know what I finish, right? So you gotta maintain a task list. That is a big deal for me. My executives have task lists that are accountable to me, and that I'm able to check that what did they do for the day, right? I can just check it and see, oh, okay, this guy finished this and this guy finished this and this. And my entire team have a weekly stand-up that they fill out, so it's like a journal filled with bullet points, and they just put there whatever it is that they finish. So we have task lists, and our task lists are supposed to bring us to that goal or milestone that we're trying to hit for the week or for the month. That is how we break down goals and priorities. Setting goals and priorities, it's not really that hard. So I do spend time thinking every day. I do set aside time to think. I put on my headphones and I play like 40 hertz gamma waves, and I listen to that and I think and meditate, and that helps me to have a clear head on what I should do or things that I should do or implement or envision for the company. And I write those things down and make sure that I do have a game plan how to get there. So those are some goals and priorities. And this year, we do have a lot of goals and priorities already that we want to get to. Um, yeah, and it's broken down by a task list. So if you don't have a task list yet, or you don't maintain one, I highly encourage you to do that. It's super important. If you don't know what kind of goals and priorities you should have, you could just do what I'm doing. Take 10, 20 minutes every day, maybe more, maybe 45 minutes. Put on some noise canceling headphones. I'm not sure what I use. I think this is Sennheiser Momentum 3. And I'm not affiliated with them. I'm not trying to sell you one. I just love this pair of headphones. This is what I've been using for a long time, and they're fantastic. And so I put them on. I load up for 40 hertz gamma brain waves, and I meditate and think. That's how I usually start the day. So yeah, that may help you out as well. Look at your business from a big picture standpoint. Think about it from a big picture standpoint. Where do you want to go? What things do you want to be accomplishing per quarter? Those are very important things. So yeah, hope that helps. Hope you got something out of that. Um, Next question. Have any of your other have any of your businesses or other life areas suffered as you became serial entrepreneur? Of course, yeah. So last year, one of the things that suffered was my health. Um, as I mentioned earlier, work-life balance is not a big deal for me. I don't think that work-life balance makes sense if you're an entrepreneur, much less if you're a serial entrepreneur. So my health suffered a bit. There was something wrong with my body um, in the fourth quarter of last year for sure. I'm not sure what it is yet. Haven't had it checked. Haven't had my blood test yet. So I'm gonna do that sometime early this year, hopefully within Q1. But yeah, so we got a slew of different clients come in, and there were so many clients coming in just almost at the same time, and we weren't able to hire as fast. And I also think that, I don't know, like, why we find so few individuals that fit our culture so well, because we're very picky about who we hire. We're very picky. We'd rather not hire than hire the wrong person, right? So we're super duper picky, and maybe that contributed to the stress and the imbalance in my health. And so yeah, my health was a little bit of a wreck late last year, and this year I'm having more of a um, better health, better, I'm taking better care of my health this year for sure. I do have a plan on what to do and which ones I should delegate now. And yeah, things are becoming better. Of course, I was hit with the Omicron variant, and I recovered third week of January. But I wasn't hit bad. I didn't have fever, no body pains, no headaches, no cough. It's just some runny nose, and that's it. And maybe because I had the booster like 2 weeks before that, before I got hit, maybe that contributed to that, which was great. So I didn't go through what a lot of other people experienced with the Omicron variant, but yeah. So that suffered. Another thing that suffered would be, oh, maybe time with friends. I don't have a lot of time with friends, honestly. I do have really good friends who I know I could, I'd do anything for, and vice versa. I do have fantastic friends, but we haven't been talking for a good long while, right? So they're also busy with their businesses, which is great because you should have a circle of friends who are as driven as you are, looks at money the same way. So my friends are people who are also business minded, most of them, and they're also building their empires, right? So I love talking with them when we get to talk, but we don't get to talk often, especially now with the COVID variant. We don't get to talk often, but I'm hoping that once this is all done, we get to go out, fly over to some province here in the Philippines, and just have a great time together, which we're used to doing together as good friends. But yeah, so that definitely suffered. But it's not really suffering if you think about it, because they're also building their empires, and one call, they're always one call away, and they know if I need something, I know if I need something, they're gonna be here for me, and vice versa. They know if they need something, 100% I'll be there for them. So yeah, maybe health is definitely one area that has suffered because of my serial entrepreneurship. I also gained a lot of weight. Before SEO hacker, I was like 165 pounds, and I gained so much weight. Maybe also because I got married and had kids, I became 208 pounds, I think. Super overweight during that time. Wasn't able to take care of my body physically. Yeah, and it's always a choice to put your health and body first. So for me now, I try to exercise every day and take care of what I eat as well. So yeah, but that's something that for me can be managed. You don't need to suffer a lot in important areas like health, right? So that was a wrong choice for me to make my health suffer. I could have done something better. I could have done some things better for sure last year, and I just didn't do it. So it's not like you don't have a choice but to make your health suffer. It's not like that at all. There is a choice to stay healthy still, stay fit still. Maybe I could have just sacrificed some entertainment time. That would have been smarter and wiser for me, but that was not what I did. So I did still have some entertainment time or self time instead of taking care of my health. So I should have sacrificed entertainment time. Yeah. So hope that helps. What have been your main practices that has helped you not to lose focus despite handling multiple businesses? I do have a morning routine that helps me out. So Every morning, I do a 30-minute walk, and that helps a lot because when you are moving forward and your eyes see a bit of sun and your eyes and ears are, your brain knows you're moving forward, you're taking a walk, that is good momentum for the day. And then I do my meditation routine, which I mentioned earlier. What I do, I put on 40 hertz gamma waves and I think about the business, do my breathing exercises, I pray, I have my quiet time, I read the Bible. That helps me a lot, right? So if you do have a good morning routine, that would help you a lot. It doesn't have to be complicated. 30-minute walk, so easy for me to do, so easy for you to do as well. It doesn't take a lot of athleticism to do a 30-minute walk. Putting on headphones, loading up 40 hertz gamma waves, you can actually listen to it on YouTube or Spotify. I don't mind where you find your 40 hertz gamma waves, or if you want to listen to beta waves, that can work too. And yeah, just meditate, think about who you want to become, what your business should be like, what you want your business to be like, right? So these are things that helps me, and I hope that helps you out as well. I also have my task list every day. I make sure that I fill it up, and I make sure that if I've done a task, I backtrack and put it there if I missed putting it there. We also have our quarterly targets. For sure, you should have your quarterly targets and your yearly targets. That helps you to focus as well. So when you don't have a target, and you're trying to shoot an arrow, then everything everywhere is a bullseye, nowhere is a miss, right? But that is not the way to do archery. You have to have a target and you have to have a bullseye, just one bullseye, and that's where you want to try to focus on and aim at. So you have to have your goal. If you don't have a goal for the year, for the quarter, then your focus doesn't matter. Even if you're focusing on something, it doesn't matter because you are not aiming at anything. So yeah, definitely you got to have something to focus on and aim at. Hope that helps. And we don't got a lot of questions tonight, actually. I think we're down to our last two questions. Yeah. So this one is, what's the key to becoming a successful serial entrepreneur? It's just like any becoming a serial entrepreneur is it's a lot like just being an entrepreneur of one business. For me, the key to success is you got to have faith, because a lot of entrepreneurs lose their wit somewhere along the way, and that's because they get anxiety, they get depressed, and these are not uncommon, because when you're losing money, you're losing clients, people are saying bad things about you, either in social media or behind your back, then your anxiety levels and stress levels can skyrocket. And then people get depressed as well, because if you're like me and relationships are not a very big factor to a happy life, then that's okay. But for some people, it is a big factor. And so they got to have friends, they got to talk with their friends, but because of business, they can't. Right. So these things bring a lot of entrepreneurs down, make them fail. Also, discipline is key, because if you're not disciplined, for example, with your finances, you just overspend, you spend more than you make, expenses greater than revenue, then your business surely going to die. Surely going to die. You got to have discipline. You got to have the discipline to work hard. You got to have the discipline to say no to bad clients, or say no to clients who have turned rotten, right? So there are those kinds of clients. Not all money is good money. There are bad clients you got to say no to. And if you don't have that discipline required to be able to do that, then you're just going to bog down your business. And sooner or later, it's just going to close down. So whatever makes an entrepreneur successful is what would make a serial entrepreneur successful. There's not a lot of difference between a serial entrepreneur and entrepreneur in terms of keys to success. So discipline is one. Another is good communication skills and empathy, right? So you gotta know to put yourself in other people's shoes. You gotta know how your client feels when you do this, when you don't deliver. You gotta know how that feels, and how that sucks for them, and feel for them, and make solutions for them. You also gotta know how your employees would feel if you say something, or if you do something, or if you don't push through with a promise, right? You got to know that, and you cannot disappoint them. You just can't let them down. You also have to be able to communicate very well, because clients, when you're, especially when you're selling to clients, they got to understand it, and they got to know that you understand. Because if you can't explain it well, then that means you don't really know your product or service well, and you can't sell. So communicating clearly is one of the keys to becoming a successful entrepreneur. And I mentioned this earlier, hard work and being able to sacrifice the right things, that's also key to becoming a successful entrepreneur. Another thing would be the continuous desire to improve and learn, right? So entrepreneurship today is a game that happens so fast and turns over so fast, because there's just everything to know under the sun is pretty much on the internet, right? So what's your edge between you in your business and your competitors? Not a lot, because almost everything's on the internet. Your price point is there, their price point is there, what makes your product special is there, what makes their product special is there. How are you going to compete if you're not an eternal student, an avid and perpetual learner? It's going to be very hard for you to keep your edge and compete and become number one. So being able, or being willing to learn perpetually, is one of the keys to becoming a successful entrepreneur for sure. And yeah, last question. How do serial entrepreneurs manage their time and finances? I always say this about time. You can't manage time because it takes on whether you like it or not. Whatever you do, it's just going to go on and on. The second hand, just in the minute, and the hour hand just turns. So you just have to manage your priorities and activities, and that's it. And how you manage that is, again, you have a task list, you have your goals set, and you just have to make sure that you choose a priority, pick a rabbit and chase that rabbit, and that's it. Don't chase two rabbits. They're going to end up both in their rabbit holes, and you end up with nothing. You manage your finances just by, just like how you're going to be managing your own personal finance. So we got a lot of people talking about personal finance out there. We have Randall Johnson, Jason Law talks about it, Marvin Guillermo as well, Tony Aquino talks about that. She has been guest in this show multiple times. And how you manage your personal finance, how you manage your finances in business as well, it's pretty much the same. Make sure your revenue is bigger than your expenses. Make sure you're saving a good percentage of your revenue, of your income, and make sure you're giving God 10%, which He demands, at least 10% as tithes. If you want to give more as offerings, or if you want to give more, give according to your faith, right? So if you're able to manage your finances personally well, then you're going to be surely able to manage your finances in the company well. So apply it to yourself first, good personal finance management, then for sure you can apply it to the business well. That's how I do it. I hope that helps, and that's going to be our last question. So for those of you who are tuned in here, who haven't been able to ask their questions, I want you to know that you could ask it on Discord. There's that rotating banner down there, and we will be able to check your questions and get to them as soon as possible. And or you could also ask your questions on the Facebook page, YouTube channel, and the Facebook group. And if you do ask it there, we can check it here from our dashboard and see it, and we can answer your question here, no problem. That is the last question, and we got a shout out from Vian. Vian, thanks for being here, tuned in tonight. Yeah, long time no see. I'm glad to see you here. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're in good health and staying healthy as well, with your entire family. So yeah, that is it for Leadership Stack Live tonight. I hope that you got a lot of value out of it, and I hope that you enjoyed tonight's episode as well. If you haven't been subscribed to us on YouTube, please do hit the subscribe button. And if you're not subscribed on Spotify or following us on Spotify, please do follow us on Spotify as well. For sure, you'll be able to get the latest episodes there, and it gets more exciting, especially this year. We're trying out something new. Vian says, I joined Toastmasters. Oh, congratulations. That is a very good organization to join. I haven't been able to join Toastmasters, but I hear so many good things about Toastmasters. Same schedule sa leadership staff. Oh, sayang. Can't attend both at the same time. No worries. Anyway, you could play all of the episodes on demand. And if you want to ask a question, just leave it on Discord and we'll surely get to it anyway. And in the live show, record this and it's going to be uploaded on Spotify after 2 or 3 months. We do have backlogs to get to. So it's 2 or 3 months before you get the answer to your question, but it is going to get there for sure, 100%. All right. So that is it for Leadership Stack Live. We are on every Thursday night, 8 p.m. I hope to see you guys next week as well. Take care, stay safe, and stay healthy.